Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
There we are. That took a minute, huh? Hey, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. How do you like that? We did it again with this fabulous new format. I hope you're enjoying our whole thing. Who's here? Who's in the house? Oh, here we are. Thirsty Thursday, ladies. I see you. Sharon, Beverly, Trisha's in the house. She was our grand prize winner yesterday, by the way. Julie's here. Look at everyone coming on in. MJ, I'm so glad to see you back, Marguerite. Jackie, Andrea's here. Lizzie, all the girls are in the house. Are we going to have fun today or what? Let me just tell you, that gala, you guys blew me away. You blew all of us away. We had the best time. We did. We did. We had the best time. And you know what? We learned so much about technology. You know, we've got new technology now, and we are doing things just a little bit better. I hope we are anyway. That's my goal. So we're back on track. We're back in the saddle again, as they say, and we're getting back into our regular routine. Don't you just love it? Rebecca, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for coming by. Linda was one of our winners. Diana's here in the house as well. I'm watching you all come on in. Hey, Jocelyn. You're inviting friends to take the road trip with you. Well, I'm going to tell you what, I want you guys to start inviting friends to the sprint. Do you know our Hot Melt Sprint? We're at it again. On Monday, we're going to be doing the webinar. It's free, it's fun, and it's going to give you a new perspective of how to do this. I want you to get signed up for it. Deal? We're going to be sending you an email about it. Don't worry about that. I want you to send it to some friends that you want to bring in there with you. Let me just tell you, there is a bunch of people who are doing this with their BFFs, and it makes a difference. It is a needle mover. Hand to God, it's a needle mover. savingdinner.com/sprint. If you want to get signed up, sign yourself up today. That's what I'm talking about. If you have a question or if you won something and you haven't sent in your address yet, do send it in to customer support. It's support@savingdinner.com. And in that subject line, say, I won a prize from the gala. Okay. And then just what your prize was that you won. And of course, we already know, we've got a list of all of that, but just make it easy on us. I'm so glad Linda said she learned so much about our supplements and skincare, and she loved it, and it was fun. It really was fun. You know, I don't get the opportunity to really break everything down and tell you why everything is that it is. I just wanted you to know something like, there's Vanessa, I see you, and Pamela, Juanita, Corliss, yay. But like, for example, I mean, I love our mindful mugs. They're yellow, they're cute. It's got a great quote on it. But last night, I got to explain the whole thing without just saying, go read this post. I got to explain it, and I got to tell you why and the thought process of all of it, right? And it makes a difference, because when we understand what it is that we're doing, aren't we a little more apt to do it? You know, that's why we do the webinars. Hey there, Terry. And you know, the other thing that I saw last night was, I always say what an amazing community, not just last night, but the night before. I saw what an amazing community is, but then I really felt what an amazing community that we had. I saw you guys loving on each other and helping each other out. And I mean, I almost had tears when Terry said to Sarah, hey, I've got an extra mug and I will send it to you, because she had her, I'm crying. She had her, I think it was her full bloom mug that got dashed on the rocks. So You guys are just incredible. And what a community, what a privilege it is to be a part of this community. Am I right? Pinkies up if you're a proud Pinky owner. What about that? Okay. Yeah, there you go. I said, I'm not going to cry. And then here I am trying not to cry. So back to our program, regularly scheduled program. We have our quote of the week. Look, if you occasionally accept occasional unacceptable behavior, it's only a matter of time before you accept routine unacceptable behavior. That should be whacking you upside your head. This is a cosmic 2x4, y'all. We are better than that, right? We don't accept, wise women don't accept bad behavior. We don't. So if you have people in your life that you need to put on notice, like, hey, get out, let's have a discussion about it. Don't engage. Have a discussion when everything cools down and just talk about this, because you only accept what you accept. And if you're going to get into that whole thing, I'm telling you, it's going to make all the difference in the world if you just draw the line. That's called a boundary. Keep the dogs in the yard, right? Oh, Gisella's here. I'm so glad you made it. Lucy's here. Fabulous. Joanne, there's my girl. Good to see Sarah. Yeah, I'm crushing the hair game. Look, you guys, if you could see all the pins, it's just pretty sad. And I just texted my hair gal because it's just like, we've got the gray and all the dark is coming in. What happened to my strawberry blondness? I got to pay for it now. Once upon a time, it was part of the whole thing. So I'm telling you that I want you to be a part of our sprint, because this is where we take the community and we work together on a challenge. And it is a challenge, isn't it? Because especially if you've been in this place of eating carbs and food addiction and sugar addiction and just like, oh man, I've got to get out of this. Tomorrow it's going to be better. And then you go back to the same old stuff. Well, first of all, number one, I think you should watch the food addiction webinar. You can watch that at any time, savingdinner.com/freedom to find out about that. But second of all, your next step is to join our sprint. Now, on Monday, which is March 1st, can you believe that? It's March 1st, is our webinar, savingdinner.com/sprint. We'll have, you get with this, by the way, you're going to get the whole shooting match. I'm going to take you and walk you all the way through and tell you exactly what it is. Then you're going to get the printout. It's 18 pages with recipes, all kinds of stuff to let you know exactly what's going on. And then you're going to get an invitation to our Facebook group, and it just keeps getting better and better and better. Catherine says your challenges make it less of a challenge. That's so sweet. It's true, isn't it? It's true. Those supplements were created specifically for the hot milk sprint. Created specifically. And Sarah's absolutely right. There is nothing like sprinting together. And I'm going to say to all of you who have done this over and over and over again on repeat, and especially the fact that you show up every single time and you show up to the webinar, you are an encouragement. Quick story. My friend, Belinda Farley, who is in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I friends from way back when our kids were real little. Her youngest, Silas, was a principal at the American Ballet Theater, yes, in New York. He's phenomenal. I remember when he was a little kid, I said, there's something about this kid. He was just amazing. And we went to watch the ballet together, and he was in love. He said, that's it. I'm going to dance ballet. And we're like, oh, sure, whatever. And then her other son has gone on he's with the Colts, I think. And Matthias Farley, you might've seen him. He's like a guy out there on the football team. Her kids are amazing. She's got 7. Anyway, so Silas, she's talking about what Silas is doing and how amazing he is. And he just got this new appointment at, I'm going to blow it. It's probably Calhoun or something, Dance Academy in Los Angeles. Probably got it all wrong. But one of the things that he said, and I put it, what's going to be one of our quotes of the week. One of the things that he said is, how do you know if someone around you needs support or an encouragement? And you know what the answer is? If they're breathing. That was a cosmic 2x4. We all need this. This is why we sprint. This is why we sprint together. And this is what I'm saying to you who have done this before, over and over again on repeat. Be the support, be the encouragement, show up. And remember, as you're showing up and doing it for yourself, you're doing it for someone else as well. Yeah. Thanks, Yolanda. She likes my hair. Hi, Noreen. Good to see you. Anyway, isn't that so sweet? What a love. What a love. I love people like that, that just, that's their whole goal, is to help light up others along the way. And I'm going to tell you what, y'all do that. You do. Hey, Glenn, good to see you. So I'm asking you, bring one of your gal pals. I mean, was it not fun having the gala with a gal pal? Totally. What about if you had someone with you on sprinting? And then they're going to be less likely to be the corruptor in your relationship when it's time, to go out to dinner and stuff like that. They're not going to be doing that. They're not going to be saying, oh, let's go and eat pasta. They're going to say, oh, let's go to this restaurant. It's sprint friendly. Then you've got somebody on your team. So do that. And you can go to savingdinner.com/sprint to get signed up for this next one. Fun or what? Yeah, let's knock it out of the park. Who's seen my son's commercial? Anyone? I put it in the sprint group if you didn't see it, but if you've seen it on TV, it's the kayaking commercial. My son's the handsome guy driving. He's so cute. And you can't miss him because from the side, you see he's got the dimple and everything. And anyway, I was very proud of him. And it was a President's Day sale for Jeep. But I have a feeling they'll take the President's Day sale thing off of it and just do it anyway. Our quote decks. Thank you, Trisha. You saw it last night, Rhonda? That's so neat. Noreen's seen it. Julie's seen it. That's so neat. Thanks, guys, for telling me. So he is handsome, isn't he? He is. He's modeled before and done a few of the things. Yes, he's the one with the cheek dimple. He's the one driving the car. So if you saw my daughter and my son and I together, you'd say, oh yeah, we know who you are. You are part of that same pod. Yes, it's so great. It's so great. I'm glad you saw him on TV. I want to see him on TV because I want to see his head all big. I mean, I don't want to see his head big. You know what I'm saying? Quote decks are still in the shop, and I'm going to tell you what they're smoking. They're smoking. Do you know how many of these that well, first of all, they just went flying from the gala. I don't want you to miss out on them though. Go get your quote deck before they're gone. Remember, this is how we set up our homes for success. We love this. Here's mine, and I don't think this will ever change. I think I'm just going to glue it to this because I'm not going to change it. Part of courage is simple consistency. Thank you, Peggy Noonan. She reminds me every single day. Every single day. It's because we are related, Lizzie. I gave birth to that little varmint. So here's to our children, right? Here's to our kids. And by the way, hot melt mix, remember how I showed you how it goes to the bottom? Just remember, you can keep putting water in it. So it's fantastic. And don't forget, if you go to savingdinner.com/gala, you know what today is? It's Encore Day. We have made a decision to allow it to go for another day. And the reason why is well, first of all, poor Amber. I don't know that she's ever going to catch up with customer service. She got bombed with customer service, and we're there to help you. This is not a complaint. I am just letting you know that we're going to keep things going. We're going to get, for all of you, no FOMO, fear of missing out, none of that. We're going to take care of you. Hand to God. That's what we do. We want to make sure that you're taken care of. And every single one of the deals you will find at savingdinner.com/gala, because we are gala. Amber, did you see? Now, Amber, that's something that Sarah would have said. You guys are in cahoots. I just know it. She thinks that Peter should be the lifeguard at Full Bloom. Oh, yeah. He would love it too. Believe me. He has the personality to go with it. So much fun. Anyway, so go watch, and you can watch any of the galas that you want to too, because I am telling you, we had the best time. And it flew. I know, 888 comments from last night. Hello, what happened there? It's great. And you can share this broadcast as well, I believe, can't you? Is there a way to share this? I don't know. Yes, Jackie, I do have fish oil on the website. If you go, and we have it on the one of the gala specials too. So go to the gala page and get it from there. Yeah, our fish oil is the omega is Bio-Omega 3X. It is a dry fish oil. You do not get fish burps. You know, fish burps are disgusting. If you've ever had fish burps, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So go check it out. Yes, Amber is so helpful. She's wonderful. Even when she's saying stuff about my son that makes me blush. And by the way, the hot melt mix, it's in my glass right now. Hey, Jennifer. So the hot melt mix, we had first time we've ever had a special on that, and that is on the gala page as well. So check it out. Don't let the clock run out on this one. This one has, you know, it's going to be done in less than 12 hours, like 11 hours. So don't miss out on that. And also, if you do want to find out more about this mug, this is in hot demand, low supply. Go get it, because when it's gone, it's gone. Amber just did the new design for the new one. And you guys, I just got to tell. What I want you to do is, when the new mugs come out, I want you to find, we're going to start numbering them all. We're going to start with number 1. You got to find the 1 on the cup. We've hidden it. It's kind of like, where's Waldo? Where's the 1? So then it's going to be beautiful. But in the meantime, you know you want this. Okay, savingdinner.com/mug to find out all about it. And the quote deck. And then tomorrow is Q&A. What do you say? Q&A? Who is going to be put in a question for me, would you? Send them into support at savingdinner.com/quote. And I mean, I can't. I'm still in gala mode. Let's try that again. Send your questions into support at savingdinner.com, and in the subject line, question for Leanne on Friday. And I will answer it, including how I did this magnificent hairdo. If I turned around, you guys would say, what happened there? Because it's just like, hey, it's just a mess. So much hair product, I'm not used to it. But I don't want to wash it just yet, because that's too much washing, and you know what happens. Lizzie has hot melt mix going. Here's to the win. If you have hot melt mix, give me a pinkies up. Hot melt mix going right now. Mm-hmm. Jenny, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. It is hot melt mix time. Anyway, lots of new faces, lots of new friends, you know, that are going to be in our world, and I'm super excited about that. And I'm excited about everything that we did today. We're going to be talking about going from this idea from being a victim into being a victor. I want to talk about this. We've talked about it a little bit before, but I think this is one of the most important needle moving things in our lives. Absolutely, needle mover. And you know why? I'm going to tell you exactly why. When we start creating new habits, and we start having the same old mindset, the old mindset and the new habits don't go hand in hand. They won't work together. As a matter of fact, that's where the fight is. You know, it's like mud wrestling. It really is, in a white t-shirt. It's just terrible. It's a complete disaster. It's not going to go anywhere. So changing your mindset, instead of saying, oh, I just can't do this, it's too hard, or blame shifting, and this person's a victim and this person's a yeah, no metal detectors for me today. Definitely not, Sarah. That is when we get to decide, you know, when we have all of this stuff lined up and we're looking at everything, we're looking at what's going on in our heads and how are we connecting all these things. And if we're in this little teeny tiny corner saying, I can't do it, I'm overwhelmed, it's too hard, I'll never find the time, I don't have time for this. If it wasn't for my husband's ridiculous, and I can't eat the way I'm supposed to eat because of him and what he wants in the house and what he demands, and on and on. I mean, I could give you 30 of them right now, but you want to hear it? I sure don't. I like, what? No, you know, let's put an end to that. But when we create new habits, we have to create a new mindset to go with it. And the first thing that needs to go is the fact that you are not a victim. No, you're not. You may have been victimized in the past, but it doesn't have to happen that way anymore, right? Remember what I said here? Remember what we said here? Dan Kennedy told us we are not going to accept routine, unacceptable behavior, because that's not what wise women do. It's also not what women do that want to have the kind of lives that we talk about. Vibrancy doesn't come that way. Vibrancy means that there are boundaries in our lives, and that there's also a shift in how we think about ourselves. I think that is so helpful because it changes the entire trajectory of how we do life. It makes us look for possibilities and not the limitations anymore. It takes us out of victim mode, and it makes us say, okay, I learned something from that, and I'm not going to do that anymore. And it dispenses of all of that, and it changes it all up. So we realize, especially, because sometimes I see a little victimhood creeping in as I look at like the sprint group. I haven't even been in there yet today. I need to get in there and say hello to the new friends that we have in there, and our old friends, of course. But I notice that every once in a while there's people will put a reason why they can't do something, or why it's hard, or how they fell, or whatever it was, whatever their situation is. And what I want to say to you is, you get to do this sprint. It's not that you have to. Nobody's holding a gun to your head. You get to do it. You get to find a whole new level of vibrancy, and you get to see what the possibilities in your life can be when you feel better, when you have more energy, when you don't have as much pain in your body, and when you're not just sitting there on the couch thinking, this is just too hard. It causes you to have to change your mind about being a victim. How about that? Isn't that so freeing? Isn't it so freeing? Jenny said, I love to fall into victimhood when I'm getting lazier and less motivated. The thing is, we can choose our own motivation at any point. We have a motivational Monday, but what is motivation but just momentum? What is motivation except doing it anyway? Motivation, when we wait for motivation to come to us, we're going to be waiting a long time for most of us. It's so true. Sarah said, realizing I was responsible for and in charge of my own choices was a cosmic 2x4. The choice is yours, and it is freeing as well. You know what it does? The shackles fall. The shackles fall. And what also happens is that you see it in your mind's eye. You start to see all the possibilities, because now you've taken yourself out of that. You've taken yourself out of the equation of victimhood. And it's no fun to be a victim if nobody's going to be playing with you, is it? Have you noticed that? It's so true. Nobody wants to play. It's no fun to commiserate with somebody who doesn't want to. Your friends, and you might have to change a couple of friends who want to commiserate on how difficult life is and how awful it is and what it is to be, this victim. There's plenty of victimhood groups, by the way. Have you noticed that? There's plenty of them right here on Facebook. You can join them. I've told you about these groups. I've seen them where they tattoo their disease on them. They tattoo, I have hash, all about this butterfly and all of that. Why? We don't want to be, what we want to be tattooed with? Well, we want to be tattooed with, I belong to the one above, right? We want that tattooed on our hearts. We don't want to be tattooed and identified with a disease or victimhood or anything else like that. We are able to make our own choices. We're qualified, by the way, to make our own choices, and it is our divine responsibility to do so. I want you to see the sprint as a launch pad, because it's not just about the food. It's about how you feel. It's not just about losing weight. It's about how you get your energy back. It's about how you find that vibrancy again. And it's not, there's no such thing as too old. There's no such thing as too far gone. There's no such thing as any of it. You know what it is? It's a matter of you seeing yourself in that light. Oh, look at you, Vanessa. That is brilliant. People like to play victim Olympics. Who's got it worse? Exactly. Well, you think that's bad. I mean, It's insane. So what do we do about this? What do we do about this? Well, the first thing we do is we got to reframe it. We have to reframe it. Absolutely right, Jackie. Changing your mindset. It's not only a good thing, it's a necessary thing. It's part of your vibrancy quota. You can't get vibrancy if you don't change your mind. You can't. You don't get any of this stuff unless you decide that now is the time. Mary Drummond just said, jump in now. And she is 1000% on it. When we jump in now, you know what we're saying? We're done playing. You know what we're saying to our brain? Shut up. And remember, the fear factor that the amygdala loves to dish out only lasts for a minute, because when you do it instead, you activate body chemicals, serotonin, dopamine, and you start to feel pretty good. You start to feel pretty good. This is the way you overcome. So how do we let's go back to this whole thing. How do we get to the way we want to be? How do we reframe all of this stuff that's going on? Well, we make a decision that we are no longer victims, that we were victimized, but we're not going to live in that, we're not going to live with that assignment anymore. Can I just say that? Nobody has assigned you this role, by the way. You have the opportunity to assign your own roles and make your own decisions about who you are. This is huge, because when I've talked to a lot of women, believe me, I've been doing this since the 90s, and in my coaching all along the way, I have met women who have been through some horrible things, have been destroyed by men in their lives, and been victimized, and have worn this victimhood mantle forever. And I did it myself. I did it myself. And in Body Clutter, when Marla and I wrote Body Clutter, I wrote that I had a fleshy shield. My 237 pounds was to repel and to keep away. That's what it was there for. It was there for my protection. And once I realized I didn't need that protection anymore, then I was able to lose the weight. Then I was able to let go of it. But everything has to connect. This is why we use this silly little tool, this little free thing. Oh yeah, Vanessa, that's brilliant. I'm going to quote you on that. Getting hurt may not have been our fault, but healing is our responsibility. That's right. If you want a life to live, that is. If you want vibrancy in your life, you just can't do it as a victim. It doesn't work. So one of the things that you can do, and one of the way you frame it is the way you feel it, by the way, right? The way you frame it's the way you feel it. So if you can say, I've left that behind, you can feel that. And we can do this with food, by the way. Remember how in the food addiction webinar, I talked to you about the always and never foods, and also about just making real delineations in the sand about what it is you can and cannot do, and not let some, moron come aboard and say everything in moderation. Because you know what I want to do? Every time I hear that, I'm going to smack them. Don't you? Backhand. Backhand. Is this thought helpful or unhelpful? What can this thought teach me? Right. Because that thought, exactly what Sarah's saying, that thought came to you for a reason, based on maybe some old thinking, based on whatever. But it's not, if you find that it's all that old victim stuff, I can't do it because, whatever. I mean, I think about Joanne. I'm going to just mention her right now. She's got her hands full with her dad. She does. Her dad's, she's taking care of him and loving him up. And she has this much time. Do you think that she's made herself a victim and can't do anything? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. She does it anyway. She figures it out. And that's the whole thing. Everything is eminently figure outable if you make a decision that it is. That's how we get out of victimhood. That's how we get from the place of thinking that I just can't to the place of, you better believe that I can. Get out of my way and watch this. I have been like that pretty much all of my life. I don't know why. I don't know why I got that in my gene pool or something. But you know what? I believe that it's activated somehow by something that spurs our thinking to say, that's enough. And when we're done and we've had enough and we're up to here, then we let it go, don't we? And part of this is recognizing that it's there and recognizing that if we can reframe it, we can feel it differently as well. What about that? Yeah, the experience file. So what Sarah's talking about, the experience file is, and look, she's talking about the trauma from the past. Anybody ever live a life without trauma? And we don't have to go through and say, well, okay, yours was worse and this was worse and this. We don't have to separate it out and start talking about the degrees of trauma. We just need to recognize we've all been traumatized somehow. I shared with you story after story of things. I was date raped. I thought I was abandoned by my family. I had all this stuff. It's not an influence on my life anymore, but it is in the experience file. I learned something from this. And you know what I learned? I learned that I have a whole heck of a lot of power that I didn't know I had, because I made a decision that that's not going to rule my life. But the experience, I'm going to take it, put it into the experience file, and let that be the lesson, and let that be the end of it. Can I just give you something right now? We have to keep our taxes, right? Well, as a business, I got to keep them all. I've got all these archive boxes. I've been in business for 20 years. So I've got all these archive boxes. What do you think? Do you think that I go into those files? Do you think I go in and get 2004 and start digging through those files? No. I keep them because it's part of what I need to do for my business. And you keep your experiences because that's part of your life. But it doesn't mean you have to relive it over and over again. That's how we get out of victimhood. We extrapolate the experience and leave it in the experience file, in that archive box, So what I want you to do is make some black and white decisions about this part of your life, right? Make some black and white decisions. I will take this, I will extrapolate this experience, and this is it. This is all I need to know. Just be a little cautious about X, Y, and Z, or, make sure the boundaries are up, or whatever it is, or I don't eat anything out of a bag. I don't do drive-throughs. I never, whatever. It's the same thing as we do with the food. We make a decision and we don't have to go back anymore to going back and forth and back and forth. And should I, because what does that do? It gives us decision fatigue. It just breaks our brain. And then of course we buckle. Of course we do. It's exhausting. We don't have to do that anymore. So you can change your story simply by putting this stuff in the experience file. Be done with it. Be done with it. Your life is worth more than your past. Can I just get an amen for that? And Sarah, you are exactly right. Those thoughts will come back, but all you have to say, you know what? I don't need to be thinking this anymore. I have an experience file for it. And back they go. Back they go into the archive box, into the archive of what your life was. Because today is the day that I'm concerned about, and your tomorrows. And I want to be there with you, creating your vibrancy. I want to see you have everything you want. I want to see you find your purpose. I want to see you say, now that I have this under control in my life, now that I say to yes, God sees a David in all of us, or you wouldn't be here. God sees you in the light of absolute pure love. The way he looks at you is the way you need to be looking at you. Who are we to decide that we can't do anything because of all the stuff? This is just, this is who we are. We are women who have a purpose. We are women put here on this earth right now today for a reason. And your purpose is to find how it is that you're going to help others, because that's what it's about. And I've used Sarah's, everyone. Sarah, you have a mission right now with your 4 children. And Joanne, you have a mission right now with your dad. And all of you, I could probably go through and name all of you. I know, Marguerite, you foster cats? All this stuff is important. We're doing God's work, and we're helping others and loving others as we do this. And if you don't feel purposeful doing it, ask why. Ask why and seek out the purpose. Amen to that, Sarah. Amen. 100%. So when we change our story, we change our outcome. Because now the world is full of possibilities, not impossibilities. Now our lives are evolving and changing so that we can be more than we have been. Now we have energy. Now we see the what ifs and can you imagine instead of, oh, I could never do that. Isn't that just beautiful? Doesn't that just make you want to just grab life by the, I don't know, whatever, however you can grab life and hug it. It makes things amazing. And that is my heart for you. When we talk about vibrancy, that's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye. And I'm seeing it for every single one of you. Nobody's left behind, not on my watch. No one gets left behind. So here's the thing you've got to do. You've got to recognize, one, you are not helpless, not by any stretch of the imagination. If there's something that you don't know, you get to ask questions. You can be inquisitive and curious. That's cool. That's great. That's part of vibrancy. So ask questions, and you can send them in to support@savingdinner.com. I'll answer any question you've got. I promise you I will. And I'll answer it tomorrow on the show. But you're not helpless. And you can say no. No's a good question. And no is a full answer, by the way. No, with a smile. No, I can't do that. I'm sorry. Not even I'm sorry. You don't have to be sorry for saying no. You don't. No is a full answer. And you can decide at any time to take back control of your life if you've given it away. Don't give away your life to a bunch of people and a bunch of strangers and a bunch of volunteering and a bunch of everything and putting yourself on the back seat, the back burner. Your life is more important than that. You are more important than that. And it takes a minute. But if you understand that at any time that you make this decision, you can be the victor and not the victim. You don't have to wear victimhood. And I'm not saying to anybody who's listening who's been victimized, my heart goes out to you. I have been too, but I'm not going to live it. It was an experience. It's in the experience file. It's in the archive. Let's leave it there. What do you say? Pinkies up? Lovelies? Okay. You know what? I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. And somebody was just saying how much that they shared this and they appreciated it. Thank you for that. And if you like this and you want to share it, feel free. I appreciate it so much. And don't forget, now is the time to go get signed up for the Sprint webinar on Monday. It's gals hanging out. We have a good time. And all of my girls are there. You're going to love everybody who shows up. And we're going to have another good time. So go to savingdinner.com/sprint. Let's get business handled. First step is the sprint. Peace be with you. I really appreciate you guys. Love you. See you tomorrow for Q&A. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.